Skills. Welcome everybody to the Foundational Infrastructure Working Group meeting on the 13th of February, 2025. Feel free to add things to the agenda if you want to talk about it, but we'll just hop in. Oh, there's nothing here. Hop into PRs otherwise. This is the feeling I get when like the bots are broken. Um, I will actually just mention one thing first. Bosch Azure CPI. We reviewed and merged something this week on this, which is um
Yeah, that was
I think I talked
last.
about that last week, but this was what we did
Yes.
this week. The
Mhm.
so now you can have encryption keys for managed disks, customer provided. All disks on Azure are encrypted, but if you want to provide your own encryption keys, there's now the ability to do that via cloud properties. And I'll get a PR this week. I guess that means tomorrow for updating Docs Bosch to actually document those properties. But that's done and there for anybody with compliance concerns that says that they need customer managed keys, which is an insane feature because the customer managed keys, you got to go put those in an Azure Vault, which doesn't feel like they're customer managed anymore, but whatever, whatever, it's done. We got the release
And
property. Oh, go ahead.
similar features are also available for AWS, for example, or how is it?
Who knows? All the CPIs are cloud
Okay,
properties are
yeah.
a total disaster. AWS, Bosch, AWS CPI. I don't.
It probably
Anyway,
has its.
I was just curious.
Uh, key KMS key aren't setting probably. Yeah, seems like
Yeah.
Seems
KMS.
like you also need to store it.
right. Yeah, I'm guessing that's basically the exact same feature. I'm kind of wondering what this does. Defaults to false override. Like
This is
it
cool.
would kind of surprise me if Azure lets you or AWS lets you make an unencrypted disk anymore. So I don't know if this property is actually doing anything anymore, but that's
Or
probably true of many.
I think back in the past, it was something. We had to set this one, for example. We switched at some point to encrypted disks.
Yeah. I just wonder, like, that's no doubt, like, originally, like, Azure or AWS, just, they weren't encrypted. And then they had a feature. Now it's a question of, like, if I just make a disk and I don't say anything, like, is it encrypted? Probably. Because why not? But I don't know. Something maybe to look at some point. All right. Release property validation. The CLI one was merged already, I think. Yes. Maybe last meeting. Yes. But this is the other one, which Aram approved the changes. Oh, Aram approved. Yeah. So just waiting on one more. No big deal. I'll harass some people about that. Ah, Sealang. This one's fun. So we talked the last 2 weeks about benchmarking stuff, and then I actually did it. So it turns out Jammy and Noble are basically very close to each other as far as template rendering with Clang, and then they are both terrible with GCC if you remove the Clang from the Ruby release. However, if you then remove the C flags we're setting in the, or sorry, not the Ruby, yeah, the Ruby release. If you remove the C flags we're setting in the Ruby release, then everything's great again. And this was something discovered by Matthew Coker, I believe, which is, I guess we'll see this one in a minute. But like, if you set C flags, um, you have to reset the ones that are the defaults. And there's some sort of like -03 optimization C flag. And so us setting this removes the -03. And so it's just not optimized at all. And it's terrible. So stop doing this because apparently this flag, it's for like platform independent. I forget what this means. But I've searched for it. Position independent code. It's like if you're making a library, it makes the jumps relative rather than absolute or something. I don't know. but it's been there since the beginning, and I'm pretty sure there's no good reason for it, and everything worked without it. So, and it's way faster. Now, in fairness, we could keep this and then add like the O3 or whatever, but like, let's just
No.
get rid of code rather than keep
If
things
we,
around that we don't know why they're there.
if we get into troubles, we know. Then we
Yeah.
finally know why it's there.
So yeah, so this one, did I approve this? I'm not in a review on it. But we got two approvals on it. And so assuming we're fine with doing that, or I mean, we can do the other thing and add it. This one seems like we can merge it now, which is just ripping Sealang out of Noble. Well, ripping the parts of Sealang we added out of Noble, because not all of Sealang is there, as we learned. Only certain parts of it, which makes it not always work.
I wonder if we ever need C-Lane for anything else.
I mean, we only added it partway through
I
Jammy.
know. I know. But I'm just wondering why if there would be any need in the future, but I don't think so.
I mean, if there is, we can add it back. Feels like
Yeah.
Noble. No, the start of Noble is a good spot to rip the Band-Aid off,
Yeah.
and then let people say, "Wait, no, I need this." I'm like, all right, well, Noble patch, whatever, has it back. It's additive.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Apparently, we're gonna merge this later. Why? Oh, my cursor's there. I don't mind making Aram rebase this because, in fairness, it's conflicting because he changed all these files. All right, and we got some new stuff. Revert. Oh, did I not do this? I thought I just clicked the button. I guess I didn't.
The revert?
Revert the. Well, it generated. I just clicked the button. There's a great button. You can go to an old PR. There's like revert this, and it just makes a new PR. That's all I did. So this was the GCP cloud logging. This thing did nothing. It didn't help at all. I checked this morning, and
yeah, we discussed this last week.
Yeah, last week.
I can
it needs a new version to do this stuff, and we need a new version to fix this. That will fix it. So it's just useless.
Yeah. All right, we'll come back to that one. See if it magically gets some reviews. Oh look, remove C flags from compiling Ruby. We talked about this a minute ago. Yeah, twice as slow. Yeah, O3. I wasn't hallucinating that. I think this must be Matthew Coker.
Yes.
Well,
it was. Yeah.
It's strange that it would override the default flags.
Right? Like that sounds like a terrible make file.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't know. We'll throw some reviewers on that. It's not terribly urgent because it's presumably not affecting Jammy at all because Jammy's using Sealang, and it won't affect Noble until Noble's really shipped in use, and we need the other thing in there anyway.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. So,
got a review. That's enough reviews.
Who is this Beyhan? It's quite fast.
No idea.
Here's a new one that I definitely saw and then glazed over as I was looking for my PR for Azure. Something about managing stem cells.
So I have an idea about that. So
that's good because I don't know what this is about.
So basically, it's about as you know, right now we don't have light stem cells for Asia, right? And this is Sebastian here is proposing two ways to have a kind of a way to provide light stem cells using the Asia Compute Gallery. So I think one approach for him was doing it as part of the create stem cell call, and another one was about that whoever is needing this would then have a separate pipeline, for example, that would then upload first the stem cell, reback it, put it in Azure Compute Storage, and then do the rest like we do right now. So, so I think, yeah, he's doing. So it's faster from performance-wise. The compute gallery. Yeah.
Is there a need for the foundation to upload this? If you upload it to the compute gallery, would it then be for everyone to be able to get it, just like with GCP? Or is it region specific, or is it?
So one approach would be that you would need to take care. So whoever is gonna use it, gonna have to create their own account where they store the stem cell. And then a second approach would be that you have it as part of the create stem cell, and then it's then per each landscape uploaded. So these are the two different approaches that that are shown here.
But not one where these can be public, where the foundation publishes.
No.
Okay. So this is just
It's
about
all internal. Okay, so
yeah.
Then I don't have to look at it.
So this upsets me that this is an option, like, because I've been sitting here waiting for Azure's VMs to boot for like all week, and like, yeah, they're like 4 minutes a piece, and like, you're telling me that there's a different way of uploading an image that so it takes 2 minutes to create the VM? Like, this is nonsense. Why does Azure even have the old way?
So that's a motivation, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not it's not a public could not be a public light stem cell. It's not generic over everything that could be used, which is weird because I know Azure has some store where you can retrieve like.
They have a marketplace. It's awful.
Exactly. That's. I mean, we talked about it. I talked about it with Sebastian, and then you said, and he quoted your comment that it's awful, and he said maybe we should avoid the marketplace and find a better way. And
we did start.
And I know when I did for Pivotal the Pivotal quick setup for. I worked on that. What was it? Pivotal quick setup, CF or something. Like you could set up like from the store. You could set up Cloud Foundry from the store, and I know that they had like an automated process, which was not automated at all because there was a person somewhere in the world who needed to double check, deploy it themselves, and then say that it was okay. And that process like took forever. It was like 3 to 6 weeks until they approved it. And yeah, it was a horrible process. So now I know why we haven't in the store.
Yes, it's better now. It only takes, because Windows stem cells we have to publish in the marketplace because you can't ship heavy Windows stem cells. So the Windows stem cell pipeline has to go through the marketplace, and it adds about 12 to 18 hours to the publishing step. And it is all automated, but on our side. But there is somebody on the Microsoft side who's like, yeah, deploying the image and doing something with it to test it.
Yes.
And there was recently Broadcom did want things in the Azure marketplace for jammy stem cells, and we decided to do that in a private account. I mean, they're public in the marketplace, but not part of the foundation publishing, just because we didn't want to delay the foundation publishing by 12 to 18 hours for a stem cell. And we didn't want to go back to the world where it's like, oh, these IaaSes are available, or the heavies are available, but not the lights yet. And so like pipelines are like triggering off the wrong thing, and that version is not available. That was not a great several years for pipelines when things sort of trickled in as part of publishing. Publishing all at once seems far better. But yeah, so we are currently publishing one, but there's no good reason for it for us. Like, it's just, we had some customers who like have Azure credits and they can't use those credits unless they use VMs in the marketplace. So it's like, all right, well, you two customers, here's a light jammy stem cell for you. Use it. But like, that's really the only benefit from it. But this seems like, I mean, this doesn't really help with any of that, but Yeah.
But if you scroll to the top, actually it does. So if you scroll to the top, I think that it's better explained in the issue 709 that is linked here. So I mean, instead of going on with the marketplace, so there are basically here the two solutions that either you would go with doing the upload to an account for whatever company, either Broadcom or SAP or whatever. They have their own account and they upload the image there after repacking it, or having it as part of the stem cell upload. And that both have their benefits, of course, but having them as part of the stem cell upload, it means from distribution, wise, it's then better, I would assume.
Yeah.
So I think here it's interesting. So you can look at the approaches here, and
there's actually, this will be a third spot because currently there's two spots of storing a stem cell in Azure, not ignoring the marketplace. Ignore that. That's not a thing. So when you upload a stem cell, if you don't have managed disks on currently, it goes into a storage account. Your stem cell actually ends up in a storage account, which is basically like a bucket. But if you have managed disk on, it instead creates like a VM image, which I guess is different than the compute gallery, which is insane that they have two different concepts for this same thing. So this would be a third way, it seems like. But if it's, I guess it depends on if this benchmarking was done with storage accounts or the VM images. I'm not sure. But yeah, if it's this much better, I mean, this is, if you're doing like a stem cell update on a CF deployment, like you're recreating a lot of VMs and a lot of them not always in parallel. So this is like, you know, an hour extra using the old way. So it seems like
and I think one benefit of the compute gallery is that you can, if you anticipate a load that would be needed, you can tell Azure that I don't know what they call the feature is, but you can use it to create hundreds of VMs than beforehand. Or so for compute gallery, they have the specific concept there for creating, preparing the VMs.
Yeah. All right.
The only thing we need to watch out for is that if we're not going to do this CPI specific. I understood correctly, you wanted to have this also when Bosch upload, that this stuff is going to do something to Azure, or was that not the thing that you meant? Because
so I think if you go to let's go back to the issue. So in the so that's I think the first approach, and then the second approach, if you go to alternative approaches, number one, that would be another way. So extend the light stem cell manager, so you can do also a repacking of the stem cell.
Oh,
and
interesting.
And for that, you can provide cloud properties, and then put it in any account you want, and then refer to it. That's another way.
So there are public community gallery images. Huh.
It can be used for it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's interesting. That's
So basically, that's an alternative approach. So number one here, or the one on top, would be the two favorites, I would say. Using the marketplace, I would not even consider.
Well, this isn't even, I don't think the gallery is the marketplace, but I'm not sure. I guess we have to look and see.
No, if you scroll down, there's then published light stems to Azure Marketplace. That's even a third way to do it, I would say.
So yeah, I mean, putting this in the CPI is just good, because if you're using a heavy stem cell, but then this does give us maybe an alternative way of publishing a light stem cell using the gallery.
Exactly.
Wow.
So each has their benefits, I would say. So number one is more, so the alternative approach, the first one is more very like what we currently do, I think.
Yeah. Well, you mean for other IaaSes or?
Exactly. So right now we upload the light stem cell centrally, right? For AWS, for example, and then we refer it to it. And that is basically the same, but instead of uploading it in, I don't know, is it an S3 bucket? It will be then uploaded to this
How come nobody told me this exists? All I thought was this a stupid
It does not
marketplace,
exist.
which is
It's not this. It's new. So this is part
oh,
of.
this is new.
So
Maybe
yeah, so these
maybe they
are
realize nobody publishes anything in their marketplace, so it's so hard. So they're like, "This is marketplace light. We don't validate because everything in the marketplace is like very validated. They're like, these are trustworthy things to use." They in fact deleted a bunch of our Windows stem cells from the marketplace because they're like, those are too old. They're not trustworthy anymore, which broke a lot of stuff. But so yeah, seems like maybe they're making a light marketplace light because they're like, it's just really hard for people to get through the marketplace.
If they would kind of just the same as what Google has, then it would be nice.
Yeah.
Because for AWS, it's just a huge mess, anyways.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
it definitely
so
seems like we should do this, and then we can look at doing this from our side as far as, you know, we don't have any Azure resources in the foundation, so we're going to need an Azure account. And what is the cost of storing these things going to be? It's probably not ridiculous, but like it's, you know, a good direction.
Last year, I asked Chris if he was interested in setting up an Azure account for some testing, and he said, "Yeah, no problem." So
Yeah.
if we actually have something that we really need this for, then I don't think it's any problem.
yeah, I think
But
that
is it
account
first
was
if the-
created. I was never able to log in because of some SSO things. I was invited with my Broadcom email and I couldn't never like get out of the SSO loop. But
Oh, he actually
the
made an account?
Yeah, I think he made the account. I've just never been in there.
But I think if we are happy already with the first approach, then we don't need even the second.
Well,
alternative
the first
one.
one still makes it so people have to download the like 500 meg stem cell and upload it, and then it takes longer to upload the stem cell because it actually has to convert it to the
No, I think that's done then automatically, right? At least this is how I get it.
it does when
So-
you upload the stem cell, but it's still the CPI is going to have to do the work of putting it into the gallery. Whereas
Exactly, yeah.
Whereas this would allow us to have a light stem cell so that like, you know, you got to download 100K rather than 500 megs of a stem cell, and it's going to speed things up too. So this is, you know, it's the same for other, it makes Azure similar to the other IaaSes as far as our stem cell shipping.
Yeah. It's the
But-
create your initial BOSH on Azure is going to be a way more pleasant experience.
Yeah.
Is the light stem cell manager thing, is it region specific? Is it like AWS or is it like GCP? Do you upload it once or do you upload it to all the different regions?
We'll have to see. Hopefully it's once, but we'll sort of, well, I mean, some of that might be in this code as far as like, because definitely it's going into the gallery here. It might be region specific, but that's some investigation that ought to be done. I don't think we know. I don't think anybody on this call knows probably.
I did not look at the code, but
There's definitely a location, which is basically, I love how Azure, half the spots call it a region and half the spots call it a location. That's very nice. I love that. Everywhere on their public web faces, it says region, and everywhere in the API, it's a location.
Then why not?
It
Oh,
keeps you on your toes, right? Otherwise you start dozing
yeah.
off.
Yeah. Otherwise, you do all this copy pasting stuff, and makes you
Yeah.
late.
I want to take a look at this, but we'll add some other people too.
so I'm not sure if he includes both approaches in this PR. But
Well, this PR, I mean, the PR is just going to be for the stem cell upload going into the gallery. The alternative one is then we have to do that during stem cell publishing and then publish a stem cell that's able to, the CPI is then able to use and be like, oh, this thing's already in the gallery. Let me use it. So
yeah,
there's,
but I think that also needs the CPI cloud properties to read this
right,
gallery,
right.
which
Yeah,
is, I'm not sure if it's part of this PR. I hope it is. Then both features are then available. So
yeah,
that's something to look at. Because
avoids-
this gallery that you saw in the cloud properties is not there by default. So this feature was not there.
right. All right. Nice. Azure. It's an IaaS too. Release
Is that
property.
going to be the slogan?
It should be.
It's a CPI.
I mean, they do one thing right. They group everything together and you can throw it all away in one click.
That is generally the best thing. Although I had a pipeline fail the other day because it was like the resource group's not empty. I'm like, that's your job. You're supposed to empty it before you delete yourself. Nothing on the agenda. Take a look at issues. I'll refresh here just in case. Nothing. Oh, no issues. Oh, they're there. Last meeting was on the 6th. Let's see what down here is after the 6th of February. SCSI tools we commented on last week, I think. Oh, this is C-Lang. We already looked at that. Homebrew. Not up to date with Bubble.
Yeah, I don't have any I don't have access to Homebrew. I don't have a Mac. I have no idea. I want to add it to the CI, but I cannot test it. So if anyone has some time available, we can check if we can put it back on the Homebrew.
I mean, I don't know if there's a good way of testing with Homebrew. You just sort of publish it. It's just a Git repo that points at some bits somewhere is all Homebrew is. So long as it, the pipeline makes it look like, this is it. This is the Homebrew formula. It's a URL and a SHA. And look, wait, no, you can test it, Ramon. Because apparently we support Homebrew for Linux, which is definitely something people use.
Yeah, I need that. I'm already installing it now.
You've been missing out a lot.
Yeah, I know. I already have 16 package managers. I need one more.
You should get apt for Mac. That's what we should do.
Now we can.
Everybody should just start using Nix.
Oh, good. More Bubble issues.
No,
May.
I think we could close this.
This was ref. Oh, is it still relevant?
I asked if it's was it still relevant, and then.
Well,
I was looking quickly into Bubble again. I thought, would it be nice to have like a pause feature in Bubble? Like, I was not sure.
we did it. We closed an issue.
Nice.
In how many days?
I don't know.
We have to think about our metrics.
Metrics.
Yes.
Something to game. Was this last week?
No, it's just a reference to the SCSI tools.
Right. And then we just looked at this one, which is already, I mean, it's not open for contribution because there's already a contribution in progress.
It's still waiting for conversion.
I don't know. It's in there somewhere. All right. That's
prioritized. Like it's already being worked on.
I don't know. I don't know the buckets. I guess we should mention Noble Stem Cell because there's still more this one, the CF deployment validation. So there's still 2 issues. Oh, yes. I think the Diego team has been looking at this. I don't know.
Yeah, I was also asking about that Java package because they couldn't find any relevant logs. So
yes, and that one is problem. Are you talking about the Java build tech one, or?
Yeah,
that one I haven't looked at it, but that one I was struggling to find anybody on the Java build pack team to take a look at this, and they're like, whatever, not a priority for us. I'm like, cool. But yeah, I think that's behind the scenes some people trying to find out if there's someone who can look at this.
I don't understand why they're not able to retrieve any loggings for the compiling phase. There should be an error with the compiling logs. And
You're right.
Yeah, but Cloud Foundry is destroying the container, and you don't get that. So I've been trying to help here, and there's configuration which we can add to change the debug level, but still doesn't get any useful logs. So I tried to involve our internal build back teams to help debugging, at least to find out what the issue is here. And then we can see whether some changes are required to the build back or.
Yeah, I can see that being. Go ahead.
It's 100% going to be a library that's missing, that's changed or whatever, or a the most of these things, the most of the problems that I had from Jammy to Noble was the XYZ packages. Well, not XYZ, but because of the XYZ hack, the packages, all the packages got renamed. So if it's now a binary, then it needs to say in the package name, it needs to say I'm a binary for this type of processor, whatever. So it's not generic anymore. And most of these issues come from this, I think, but I'm not sure.
I wonder, I know nothing about build packs, nothing low level about them, but I can imagine the feedback loop for make a new build pack, upload the new build pack to try to get more debugging out, and then push an app and get it fail and not see that. I wonder, like, if it's viable to just spin up a Noble stem cell and, like, you know, copy the build pack tools onto it and then try to sort of debug it that way rather than trying to do it in a container.
Yes, you can execute the different build back scripts on Noble container if with Cloud Foundry that you don't have any ways to get more information. You can. There are the detect compile scripts which are just you can execute locally with an application to see what happens.
Do we have, not sure if this would help or not, but we don't. So we don't have a Docker image for Noble yet.
No, we have.
I mean, it's not here if we do.
No, I know, but it's not in within the CI Docker. We upload in the CI upload systems uploads one, I think.
Oh no.
Not sure, but I thought we.
Yeah, this could be also interesting just with the Docker image to try fast.
Docker, yes, we have a build OS image stem cell builder.
It is in the publisher, probably.
In the Docker here. There's a tab.
Well, that's the Docker image used to build it. This is the stem cell as a Docker image.
Oh, okay.
Which is used by people who want to compile packages, because this has the agent on it. It's compile packages. You can use the agent to compile things without spinning up a Bosch director. I don't know.
I don't see a.
Is that in the publisher that does that?
No, I don't see it.
Publish Docker, GitHub. Where does that even happen? All right. Well, I'll take an action item to do that because we should be publishing those there. We might actually be publishing them there. We might just need to map this because Docker pull, because this is all madness, if I remember right, as far as like packages.
It happens here, or
No, you might. It's like you have to like. it's so packages, the package repository in GitHub is top level in an org, but then like it's associated with this repo. So it's not like in this repo, but they get associated at some point. There was some weird thing we had to manually do once, but I got to find out where it gets published. I'll take an action item to make sure that that's happening. Copy paste. Oh, didn't work. It was led astray. Close enough.
You can also check the action item from last meeting.
Oh yeah, I did check on them. I didn't unblock any of them, but I did check on them. Turns out they're hard.
Yeah, let's see.
Does anybody have anything else? All right. Thank you all for coming. Have a good week.
See ya.